Hello, how's everyone doing today? I hope everyone's doing okay today. As you can tell from the video's title, the topic of today's video is the new Valentine's Day doll. This will be a showcase of her skills and an overall discussion about her, because the other thing I want to discuss here as well is some of the red flags attached to her. Yeah, shocker. Red flags with a newly released Revived Witch character. Though perhaps this time it's an advanced red flag, if you will. But let's start off with her skills first. We'll go to that after. Her order skill has an effect that adds a 30% increase in damage taken. 30% is quite a significant percentage, and it's not a stacking effect, so you immediately get the bonus from a single skill use. If we focus on only the order skill and look at enemies for comparison, hers costs more, it costs 3 order points, and upon skill use it heals and it gives a 10% attack increase. Another doll whose order skill perhaps matches the new doll's order skill better is Amorai's, which costs 2 energy points. And what that skill does is heal, gives a 20% physical defense ignore, and after unlocking the second level of her passive, using that order skill will also recover 2 chaos points. In the case of Amorai and the V-Day doll, it's defense ignore versus an increase in damage taken. The V-Day doll's skill effect has an extra 10% over Amorai, but she gains 1 less chaos than Amorai. Though her passive gives her a 20% chance of recovering another 1 chaos point. So, which skill is better probably changes from battle to battle. And yeah, whereas the older dolls I just mentioned have a healing effect on their order skill, the new doll's healing is limited to her 4 points requiring chaos skill. Nothing much can be said about this one. I feel like this skill perhaps will help with near lost battles, so clutch wins, since it heals and adds 1 order energy. And in case you haven't seen my previous video on her, this is what her unique equipment does. Yeah, I changed my mind about her unique equipment. Perhaps a mere 1% of any effect is not worth it after all. Now that we've gone through her skills, let's exit out of this, ending with her victory animation. One that's repurposed and used again for the animation you get from tapping on her. Looking at her other remaining animation leads to yet another single frame animation, just like a man, and perhaps other newer dolls I haven't looked into. Which is why I bring attention to their animations, because older dolls have more animations for each move. So this tells me there is a decline either in effort put into these dolls, resources, or it could be resulting from rushing things. This time the last one seems highly plausible, though it could be a combination of all three. Because as you probably picked up on by now, she's voiceless. Here's what you're met with when you successfully pull her. Aside from the dead silence, if you notice, the lower edge of the screen lacks the typical self-intro text. In fact, no text pop up with her whatsoever, no matter at which window or with which action. This doll has effectively ascended the voiceless category. I've said before how just because a character is not voiced doesn't mean their speech bubble should disappear in less than 2 seconds. Those are still worth reading in spite of that, because as you know, some of them tells you more about the characters, how they grew up, an incident that may have happened to them, etc. They're not a generic, thoughtless lines. So when I saw that, I thought they had made it so that they don't pop up at all. I thought it's not exactly an improvement, but it's not that bad. Turns out it was worse than I thought. Sadly, this is seemingly not a visual glitch. This time, presumably because I'm just speculating on what I'm seeing, but they didn't take the time to write her lines, or at least they didn't finish them in time. But all of that could be the reason why they delayed her for global. Shoulder shrug. If she eventually get added to global as she is, without a voice nor a story, then I just don't understand the reason behind delaying her. I can't make sense of any of what's happening in Revived Witch currently. And that's the video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of all of this. Also, if you think I'm being too harsh or overly negative, do let me know. I'm curious to see how others perceive this whole thing and what y'all think of this. So leave a comment about it if you want. And thank you again for watching, liking, commenting and subscribing. Until the next video.